St Clair Shores, what's going on? Werenka here from Simply Home, and I'm back with your August 2025 real estate market update for the city of St Clair Shores. Let's get into it. So as of right now in St. Clair Shores, there is a grand total of 147 homes on the market, which is approaching where we would want to see inventory for this time of year. Still a little bit low, but it's way better than it has been for the past several years. And in the month of July, there were 68 homes that sold. And of those 68 homes that sold in July, the average sale price was $263,333. That's down just 0.5% from the month of June, although it is down 6.3% from July of 2024. And that being said, that of those homes that did sell, the average home sold for 101% of asking price and sold in an average of only 21 days on the market. So the fact that on average homes are selling for more than, slightly more than asking price just means that on at least half those properties, we're probably getting multiple offers. So the market is still pretty hot. It kind of goes back to what I've been saying is, the market is still a good market for home sellers, but you have to put a little bit of effort into your home to get it sold. Like the days of just sticking a sign in the yard and then collecting 15 offers in a day are long gone. So, we've got a new reality that we need to work in, but the market is still pretty strong. And currently in St. Clair Shores, there is still 1.7 months worth of inventory on the market. So, let's take a look at the overall real estate market for Metro Detroit, and then we'll circle back and dive into St. Clair Shores specifically. The market in general is still on paper doing pretty well. We definitely, our days on market are starting to creep up. Right now we've got 1.7 months worth of inventory. A year ago, it was probably closer to a month. It was not unheard of a couple years ago to have less than a month of inventory on the market. So what you expect to see, the more inventory you add, and don't get me wrong, we are approaching healthy market status as far as the inventory level goes. We're not quite where I want to be yet, but it just makes sense that when there's more properties to choose from as a buyer, you're going to take a little bit longer to make that choice because you can. So the average days on market, you'd expect it to creep up. Now that's not anything crazy. 21 days on average is still in seller's market territory. It doesn't until it gets to about 30 days on average that things start to kind of balance out and kind of lean a little bit more in the direction of a buyer's market. We're not there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get there. We're right now we're talking about sales that happened in July, and this is the August update, obviously. But what we could expect to see from here, if the market behaves like it does in a typical year, we're about at the top end of inventory that we're going to see for the year. And then I would expect September through December we're going to start seeing that level of inventory go back down. Now last year, we kept increasing inventory all the way through November, so we'll see what happens, and obviously I'll report back as it happens in real time. But that's usually what we expect to see for this time of year. And what we typically see as well is the average sale price is probably at its peak for the year as well. And there's usually an 8 to 11% difference between the peak of the market and the bottom, which usually comes in late January, early February. That's almost always the case. I mean, we'll see what happens when we get to that point, but that's usually what we expect to see. So in general, I would characterize the St. Clair Shores real estate market as pretty healthy. There's no outlying weaknesses that I can see. I would attribute that 6.3% difference in average sales price from July of 24 to July of 25 as simply there were probably one or two lakefront homes that sold last year that didn't sell this year. So one or two more, I should say. So that usually accounts for that fluctuation. And we'll see that sometimes in St. Clair Shores, the average sale price, even though we have a good sample size of almost 70 homes sold in a month, that the average sale price can fluctuate, and that's usually what does it. is 1 month we'll have more waterfront homes sell, and then that impacts, then we see a big drop in average sale price the next month because we had fewer, and then it averages out over time. So I'm not too concerned about it. We're 100% going to keep an eye on it, and you guys will know as soon as I know. But if anything crazy does happen with the market, I'll get right back with you, and we'll really dig into the numbers and find out why. But we're seeing that in some other markets around Metro Detroit. We're not seeing that in the Shores yet. So until we do, I'm not concerned about it. And even once we do, I mean, there's no such thing as the market's never going to be good for everybody at the same time, but there's no such thing as a good market or a bad market. We just need to know what's happening in the market, and then buyers and sellers can adjust accordingly. So as always, I will always keep you up to date on those figures and give you my opinion of what is a smart move and a not so smart move depending on the market that we're in. But if you do have questions over and above that, as always, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Call or text. My direct line is 586-491-5622. My email is Werenka@simplyhome.com. And as always, thank you so much for watching these guys. Really appreciate it. Really like delivering, accurate information to you on an ongoing basis. So, and as always, if there's anything that in addition that you want to know, just reach out anytime. But we'll be back soon. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and we'll talk soon, guys. Have a great one.